Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper. This is another video on Raid Shadow Legends and another series of I Built Them So You Don't Have To. We are doing well. Thank you very much for your support over the last couple weeks. We are like 850-ish, 875 away from getting that beautiful, beautiful test server access. But the grind must go on, so we are back on the I Built Them So You Don't Have To. Many thanks to Jay Giggs for jumping in and letting us do his custom champion, but we got to get back to a normal one, and here's one I wanted to do for you, and it is the daily login reward Ceez. Now keep in mind that this is an epic champion. You're going to be getting, like, it feels like 10 years into the game, right? You're at 271 plus days. You got to go through, I think, 6 champions to get this one, which is I think it's a 4-month, 2-month, 4-month, 2-month. So it will take you a very long time to get this champion. That said, I got him a little bit early. I pulled him, so I have him already. We have him fully built. I'm gonna try to use him in 2 different ways. But first, as always, let's get into his kit and all the rest. So without further ado, here is Ceez. Swarming Suffering. Attacks all enemies. Places a 30% increased crit damage buff on this champion for 2 turns before attacking. Heals this champion by 5% of their max HP on each critical hit. Knight of the Bat. Attacks 1 enemy 3 times. Fills this champion's turn meter by 10% on each critical hit. Also places a perfect veil buff on this champion for 1 turn. Snicker and Slice. Attacks 1 enemy. Places a 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if the attack is critical. Gimme. Passive. Steals 15% of the turn meter from the enemy with the highest turn meter at the end of this champion's turn. This effect cannot be resisted. Alright, there was a look at Ceez. Now, I have Ceez in some pretty endgame gear. I could have gotten him even a little bit bigger attack. However, I decided we wanted that accuracy to make use of his turn meter manipulation that he has on this champion. He actually looks like he hits hard. We're going to find out when we take him into damage testing. But just to review his kit, because you don't always kind of see it in action even on through the campaign. But this is the big thing here. Still 15% turn meter from the enemy with the highest turn meter at the end of this champion's turn. This effect cannot be resisted. So he's also got an AoE, as you showed. He's got a single target that fills his own turn meter with the perfect veil, and he's got an increased attack. And there's 2 ways I can envision using this guy. We're gonna try both of them. Frankly, we're gonna take him into the arena because I feel like that's the best place for this guy. He does, because he has an AoE, he might be useful in wave clears. Certainly in faction wars, I think it's a no-brainer. But I want to make use of both opportunities here because I feel like this turn meter is something that can be really fun to do, but it's kind of counter to the type of kid he is. This guy has 1531 base attack. That might be the highest of, without looking, that might be the highest epic in the game. It's one of the higher epic attack boosts, and he does hit very hard. His multiplier seemed to be very strong. So why don't we, here's his masteries here, by the way. We did put him in Helm Smasher because I want to put him specifically in Arena. But I also did give him down support, which I don't normally do with Nukers, because of that turn meter manipulation. And we did give him this, if he has a dead ally, speeds him up so that we can get more chances to steal more turn meter and get this guy turned so he can do some killing. And so we went with, this is pretty much my standard nuking ability. As for his actual stats, you can see them right here. He's got 6750 attack at 166 speed, 271 crit damage, 273 accuracy. He's wearing Baron's gear. The difference being, of course, Baron, I have Blessed, a level 2 blessing, so he's getting 500 extra attack. And I use an attack banner on Baron, which I'm using an accuracy banner. And I didn't have a good accuracy banner, so we're getting a little bit of attack here. But obviously, we could have this guy in the easy 7s if we used an attack banner. But I feel like, again, I'm trying to make use of his whole kit here, which is, again, a bit strange. We'll talk about that in the final thoughts. But why don't we take him now into damage testing? We'll see what he can do against some other AoE, some other single target, see where he stacks up in the epic world. All right, so it seems like a case of deja vu. I feel like it was only yesterday that J-Gigs was leading this crew, but now we're going to put Ceez in there. I think it's a good job. We have a couple AoE nukers with single target abilities as well. We have a single target specialist, and of course we have a debuffer to make it all work. We'll see what happens here. I really want to see where Ceez... I don't see Ceez... well, I don't want to get too much into where I do and do not see him until final thoughts, because I think it's a very interesting juxtaposition in his kit. So first we've got this, which attacks all enemies and reduces their skill by cooldowns. And then we've got boom, he puts a pretty big hit on there. I wish I would have taken her out. All right, we're gonna have to back out here because he killed people. So remember this: 326, 699. We're gonna edit the team. We're gonna take out Whisper for this first for this run here, and we're actually gonna take out Magnar because we already did. So 699, 320. I know this is where it really gets painful on my energy costs. Hey, 850 away, and then we can do this sort of thing on the test server. I won't be able to do them all on the test server. I recognize that, but at least I'll be able to get when I have test server access, the ability to do that. So again, let her do that, and then we'll do his AoE. It looks like it hit harder. Let's see. 404. So he is hitting harder than her. He's got better gear than her, so I suspect that they're both in a very similar position. Clearly not hitting as hard as Magnar. So good damage numbers, but not crazy damage numbers. So let's now let's edit the team and bring back in Whisper, bring back in Magnar, and we'll check out their single target skills and see what happens with those. As always, Alika tends to run away with these, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep pace. Alika actually outdoes Whisper a lot of the times because, man, oh man, 179. Let's see, we'll take him over there. 94. He does a debuff spread too, but there's no HP burn. It's a weird spread there. And she just did 183, so she actually outdid. And then this one here, one enemy 3 times, fills his turn meter on each critical hit. Is that gonna kill? Like, are we gonna have to do this? That was actually pretty low, actually. It's not a very strong A2 ability. So, that's interesting. I kind of thought it would be hit a lot harder. Now, he does put himself into a veil, so he's got a little bit of interesting connectivity to it. But yeah, he's clearly lower. She hit harder. She just killed the champion. I think there's a little disparity. Let's replay this one more time. I feel like I want to hit him against what's her name? Is it Temptress? I can't remember. So I'm gonna hit you with that. Well, 200. See, he's got the same defense ability. 118. That's not. It's the same. It truly is. Right. 187, and we'll let him go there. Yeah, 30, 60. Yeah, so 90. So he just it's just not. I think I just got unlucky with Helm Smasher procs, but a little bit better here. But honestly, he's not even hitting as hard as Magnar. Magnar's single target abilities aren't known as major damage. You see Alika and Whisper clearly destroying them all. So Ceez is a little bit. He's probably got, well, him and Magnar probably are split for the best gear. It's pretty easy to have an HP nuker and an attack nuker. Now Ceez does have. We could even push him further if we put an attack banner on him. Because in this particular scenario, is his turn meter manipulation really that big of a deal? Probably not. Yeah, so we gotta do this one more time for A1s, but I don't know. His damage is strong. It's very strong, but it's not best in class. We'll say that right now. 65. She only got single hit there. 50-50. So that he's gonna hit harder. She's probably gonna hit harder too. Oh no, she didn't. And then we'll put him over on this side, 49. So yeah, as is normally the case here, actually it's even lower. His multipliers are not that great. I can tell you right now, given the gear he has, he's at 6750. Let's just show you the team here, just to give you an idea. I don't always do it because I don't change it, so you can probably just find out from looking at it. But she's at 5500. So he's at 67, she's at 55. He's at 276, she's at 226. And the numbers she's doing compared to him, both in Savage. I might have actually taken her out of Savage, but I'm pretty sure she's still in Savage. So you see how much harder. Now, Magnar's is not really going to mean anything to you. He's 265 with 93,000 HP. That's his deal. I should probably change his blessing to give him more HP. What blessing does he have? I think he has the one that decreases defense, so that's probably why I put it there. But probably put him in Polymorph, I think gives HP. Which would actually not be a bad thing when he gets hit. So, gosh, you know, I was actually kind of hyped for Ceez, but the numbers aren't really showing. Whisper is not in Savage gear, but she's really low right now. Actually, 46, 48, and 324. I think she's missing a piece of gear, or I stole a piece of gear. Well, she's got 46,000 health. That's why I've been using her in Hydra. So we dropped some of her attack for survivability. Okay. Well, I mean, there you go. His damage numbers, his AoE stands up decently. It's not Magnar level, but it was certainly better than Alika's AoE. So from that perspective, he's in the upper third echelon of AoE damage, but it wasn't spectacular. It wasn't next level. Magnar's is next level. So, and even Alika has a follow-up with the single target. Everyone's single target was just better than his, and everyone's A1 was just better than his, in spite of the fact that he's got the best gear overall of the bunch. So there you go. But we are still going to take him where I think he's most used, and with a huge asterisk we'll put on that. But we're going to take him into the arena next. We're going to take him into the arena in two different ways, two different kind of mindsets. So we're going to use the first mindset with the gear he's in, and then we're going to swap that gear out, and I'll talk about it before we get into the second part. So let's head into the arena next. All right, so here's your standard thing. I'm just going to replace my Baron with him in the team comp here. So this would be my flash farm team, or whatever you want to call it, my speed team. It's a very effective team, honestly, for 6 days a week. And I don't usually deviate from it. I'm not going for plat, but if I ever were to go for plat, I'd switch his team out. But we're going to see his straight up damage numbers were not phenomenal, but is he available here? You see, he can still see. That's really weird to me. He just hit everyone for clearly over 100k, and I think I saw something on 200k on the left hand side there. So what is it? Okay, let's try it. This should be an interesting one. This is one I normally bring in someone different because of Rodos's mechanic, but we'll give it a try. Maybe we'll try to find a really strong defense team to really understand where his limits are, because definitely he seems to be better in this scenario. Granted, he has an increased attack. A bolster set. So this should be interesting here. Oh, he's also got reflect damage, so we'll do that. So yeah, even with the reflect damage, we'll reset it. Like, the thing to me is he's even got an increase. Like, he's hitting hard. I mean, it's hard to say he's hitting hard. We have a weak hit here, so that's actually kind of in a roundabout way. He's good against Rotos, although because he doesn't double hit. So again, he's nuking hard. We had a champion that had damage, or whatever it's called. I can't remember. What are those rings called that we spend money in CC? It's not reflect. It's whatever it is. I don't know why my mind can't think of it. I mean, he's doing all the damage. I want to, like, let's keep going here. Let's see. I don't like the freeze. So, okay, we're going to take him into the arena. I don't know what that's going to look like. I just noticed that I was buffering really badly on the recording. So, I don't know what that's going to look like. But we're going to retool him. We're going to bring him back into the arena and how I think he might be better used, and we'll see how that works, so we'll be right back. Alright, so here is a slightly different outlook on him, and this is kind of where I think because his damage is good, if you need him nuker, you saw it, the damage is there. This still has damage, but now we're going a different direction. It's 51-54, but now we're speeding him up significantly. We're losing about 100 crit damage, so a lot of crit damage, and we're putting that into accuracy and speed in order to see if we can't get this champion. I also changed out his masteries a bit, and we're playing with a little bit more, a chance to get an extra turn on his buff, the chance to get the turn meter when a buff casts, remove expire. So we're just trying to get a little bit of that. It also, I don't think this would have been a bad idea, the crit hit ally. But now we'll take him into this sort of scenario, and we'll take out Warlord, and we'll bring in our re-equipped Baron. And God, this is the worst team to try it against. Let's try it against a kind of a normal team. Leorius, I bring in a different team, so it's kind of... Well, you know what? Actually, I can use Leorius. That's not true. We can use Leorius. So rather than bringing in Baron, we'll just bring in Magnar. Although we're not locking out Leorius, so this could be a problem. Warlord's kind of the hard counter for me for Leorius, and we're not using it. But I just want to see what this does here. And I want to be very mindful of it. So we're going to go one time. The key here is now we're still doing the same thing here. We can get better crit on mine, and we're gonna try to manipulate her. And so we stole 10% of her turn meter right there, right? So that allows me to go. Now I can't mess with her because she's Superwoman, which is fine. We can go up to 2 times. So I want to see. So that's kind of, yeah. See, I knew my problem here was that I didn't have that lockout, but does it block reset? Then what's up that block reset? That seemed a little weird. Anyway, whatever. Right. Now, but the problem is now we don't have this. So this was probably, again, I should have just walked away. I knew right away that this is not the team to try this against, but I just hate having to look for the right team over and over again. Oh, your Mithrala just got wrecked. Well, we still did it, I think. Shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch. She's gonna wreck me. So we still won with it. I think what I was trying to show happened, and that was keeping the continuity. This one might be actually a tougher one for me, depending on how fast and how well tuned they are. But the point of this is to disrupt their ability to counter. Hopefully, given the fact that with that boost, I'm faster now. So now I can take turn here, and I can steal turn meter from... Okay, so it was her in that particular case, which gives my third champion the chance to go, which is hopefully some sort of crowd control, which is exactly what happened there. So I guess that's a pretty good showcase right there. It's not the best option, for sure. And I'm lagging again, and I apologize. I'm sure it's Friday. I'm about to stream, so I'm sure it has to do with my antivirus, because that's when my antivirus figures I should have a life and I should be going out on Friday nights. Well, it's wrong. But I hope this translates well in this video. I'm going to be really pissed if it doesn't. He's a disruptor, and I think he's better as a disruptor than a nuker. He still puts some supplementary damage out there, and I'm sure depending on what kind of gear you have, you might be able to make some sacrifices. For example, typically your speed boosts aren't going to have a very high resistance because they want accuracy, especially Lysandra. So you could probably drop his accuracy down to 300, 250, maybe even get away with it, and then not give him back his crit damage. That's possible. I just wanted to see it in its full effect. So there we go. There's the ways I can see him being used. Let's go to final thoughts. All right, I have 2 strains of thought on Ceez. So the first way I want to jump into it on my final thoughts is you just got this champion, you pulled him, you're a newer account, you don't have a lot of champions. Doesn't matter if you spend or not, but you don't have a lot of champions. You're looking for damage. He's a really good champion. He's able to do a ton of damage with his A3. It's not the best damage among epics, but it's really good. So you have this opportunity to do really good damage. And an A2 that's okay, but it has a really nice, it's filling turn meter and it's perfect veil. And most importantly, this turn meter manipulation from the person who has the highest turn meter in the other end. So when we took him into arena, that's where we really showed the two different ways. He can nuke, he can be your nuker. He's not the best option. But if that's the option you got, he's not the worst option either. He's pretty good. But I think if you have a nuker and you're looking for a secondary, maybe some damage with some manipulation, you need something else there. You don't. This would be like a Seeker would be in this spot. Well, you can put Ceez in there, and because of his passive, he's going to be able to manipulate. If you speed him up as best you can, 100 speed's not bad. 1500 attack is amazing. So you can speed him up so that he can mess with their Arbiter, their Lysandra, their whomever is their fast Siphi, right? You have to be faster, and that's the one caveat. I really wish this one there was something different than this. I wish there was a little bit more of a dedicated, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to make this guy as fast as Siphi unless you're already faster. You know, she's getting 14 speed faster than him base, which might as well be a million speed faster. But if you're faster, you get that boost, which allows him to jump over, and then he's going to allow your third to go. That's where his real wheelhouse is being that second person who's going to allow your third champion to go, who's typically some sort of strip crowd control, decreased attack, something, right? And then your nuker. I think that's his best spot. So in a bubble, I think he does that job really well. It's a really good kit for where I think he's best at. What's the problem? Is most of you, unless you do pull him from shards, aren't going to see him for 3 years. And I said this the last 3 epic multiple. It was Scion and well, any Doom Tower epic, any past the first 3, all of these champions that are getting so late in the game. I don't think anyone who's been playing long enough to get Ceez as a login reward, free to play or otherwise, is going to need Ceez for anything other than perhaps Faction Wars, which obviously he'll help. He does good damage. He can manipulate turn meter. He can help you. That's absolutely useful for him. The reality is, and this is where we jump out of that bubble. In the bubble, great champion, great kit. Outside of the bubble, the reality is for the vast majority of people, you're not going to get them until you no longer need them. And that's the problem with the login system. That's the problem with the Doom Tower system. And they're just they've given up. They're just throwing the white flag. They're just giving up on the Doom Tower system. They're going to start giving materials from after the last of that. And I think they're doing that. Or we're going to see oils, or we're going to see something. They're going to get rid of the Doom. They're going to get rid of the login epics and stuff because they know it's ridiculous too. Now, what I've always asked is to give us the choice of which epic in the Doom Tower. Give us the choice in the login. So at day 271, I can pick the best legendary, and then I can. And frankly, why not have both at the same time? I mean, half of the rewards in the monthly are useless anyway. Why don't you give us that option? They won't. So I don't even know why I'm talking about it. But like, hey, I love the Void Shard. I love the gems, the energy. Great. These core hammers are becoming a lot less important to me, but it's still okay. But maybe I want to put a legendary here and a legendary here because I don't care. Well, I need actually rank charms are very important. I tell you what's not important to me: Bloodstones. I'm maxed out. I do all my faction wars. I don't have enough Magisteel to keep up with Bloodstone. So there's something that I would love to get. I don't need Willstones, right? Like these are the things that I could replace in. I don't need your ring, even though it's a 6-star epic. I don't need it. I farm way too much to care about that. Glyph, 5-star glyph, nah, you can keep it. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking. Not going to happen. And so the reality is, and I didn't bother doing the math, but we're looking at 271 days plus 30, 60, 90, 120 days times 2. Was there 2 legendary login or 3? I think there's 2. And this is the 3rd epic, I think. So, which is 4 months. Like, the game's old by then, and you don't need this champion. So my final thoughts on the champion is unfortunately he's a good champion. He's a good champion that I think a lot of people. There's 15 reviews on him. I think, hey, let's do that. I don't do this all the time. I think arena offense is a 5. I think he's a 5. I think you can use him in many areas. Arena defense, you might be able to argue a 4 if you can get the right team. Campaign locations, he's Force Affinity, so I don't even know what they're talking about. Faction Wars, a 5, definitely. Magic Keep, well, the turn meter manipulation is nice, so we'll put him a 4. Spirit Keep, how do they have a 4.1? He's literally weak affinity. Like, who does these things? Void Keep, I mean, he nukes, so Force Keep, he nukes, so Fire Knight's Castle, he has manipulation of turn meter, but he doesn't have multi-hit. I'll give him a 3. Spider's Den, I don't understand why he's even there. Iron Twins, no, he's very weak. He's very easy to kill. Ice Golem's Peak, turn meter's nice. AoE nuke but he's very fragile. I don't know. I don't buy it. Dragon's Lair, yeah, probably be good in Dragon's Lair. Minotaur's Labyrinth, that'd be fine enough. Demon Lord, 4.6. Is there something I'm missing? 4.6 on the Demon Lord? He's got no poisons. He's got no HP burn. He doesn't extend. He just has a turn meter boost, which frankly is usually a pain in the ass for tuning. So no. Hydra 4.4? Who is taking these things? Sand Devil's Necropolis? He might be good in the mid, but I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Okay, we're good. So yeah, he's a good champion. If you get him early enough, yeah, he might be good for you. Chances are, though, he's going to be a Vault Dweller or a Faction Wars only because it's too late. It's too late. So it's unfortunate that a champion like this gets buried behind a bunch of garbage, frankly. If I could pick him instead of High Katoon, instead of Dark Elhain, instead of Baba Yaga, I think then we would be talking an amazing champion. Then I'd be giving him 5s, just for the fact that he's actually accessible as a good champion, a good option for new players. But I don't think most are going to use him, which is unfortunate because I think he's a really good champion. Those are my thoughts on this champion. What do you think? Do you like Ceez? What's the deal? Let me know in the comments down below. And most importantly, I want to thank you all for watching this and appreciate your support. Please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.